Hello, and thank you so much for joining my channel. I'm glad that you're here. Today I'm going to demonstrate how I resin these 21.5 centimetre by 1 centimetre deep table decor platters. Best time to resin is after the rain, I find, and also temperature 23 degrees and low humidity was perfect for resining. Beware of the weather when you resin. Make sure you read the instructions that come with the product. Okay, let's get this tape on the edges. I try and have a little bit going underneath so I can tape the tape to underneath as well, if that makes sense. Whoops, I'm losing it on my little board here. I'll just do one more. I'd rather be safe than sorry. So this time I'm just going to go around the edge and make sure that most of it gets tucked underneath. Okay, I'm going to use 150 ml of resin on this board. So I want 75 ml each part A and part B tabletop resin. Alrighty, so let's get this in there. Better turn my scales on. Part A. Oh, 75. Let's get this up to 150. I've got 7 mil over. So we want to get that to 6.4 to equal that out. Oh, slowly. 1 mil. See, and all of a sudden it jumped. That's it. So it's got 2 mil more hardener than it has part A. Okay, let's just get this stirred. Alright, so now I'll set it in hot water. That's just going to help release the bubbles. Get that water off. You don't want to drip in on your resin. I'll just keep stirring that. This is all good to go. The sides are sticking down really well. Okay, and just give that a final good press. It's looking good. Make sure it's level surface. It's looking pretty good. Okay, it's nice and clear. It looks like it's mixed well. It has got a lot of air bubbles in, but that's okay. I'll get them with the torch. And let's just pour that on. Alright, I can leave that, give it a torch. So it's been 2.5 hours, and let's get that light on there. So now what I'll do is pull the tape off. It's quite sticky. I come back every hour and I test it to see what it feels like. Now it should be just right to, whoops. Now it should be just right to pull off. Okay, so I'm just going to get the torch on it. Just give it a light torch. I do always have a fire extinguisher handy as well when I'm working with resin. They're very important. Alright, and do the same here. Where's my end? Here it is. Okay. Let's just zoom. Okay. Alright, that just around the edges because there are some air bubbles happening. And just do that very quickly. I do have a fire extinguisher handy. Okay. Just remember to have that when you're playing with fire. So we'll just let that trickle down. So there you go. So now what I'll do is cover it and I'll check it in the morning. Okay, Saturday morning, time to unveil. Looking good. I've got a really nice coverage. You can see that. Oh, let's do this. Oh. So all the way around, beautiful coverage. No dust. So now what I'll do is take the tape off the back. Okay, so I am sorry I didn't have the record going when I was sanding the base. So this is basically what I did. on the belt sander. That removes the resin very easily, but you do have to be careful. They are powerful tools. So always use with caution, and always make sure that you wear your dust masks or your protective masks and safety goggles, especially working with resin and MDF. So after I've put it on the belt sander, I'll take it to the orbital sander, and then I'll give it a fine sand with the 800 grit sanding disc. So that'll ensure there are no sharp edges, giving the piece a really nice smooth finish. So I had this set returned. It was very disappointing. But a big lesson learned. I've thrown away the worst coaster, but what happened was, for some reason as well, the resin lifted from the edges, and I'm thinking, if I recall, it may have been this mix that may have got a drop or two of water in it when I was stirring it in the hot water. So be very careful you don't get any water in your resin. So what I do now is make sure that the first thing I do is seal, and very well seal, my whole piece before I even do my pouring. Now I've already got tape on the back, you know, ready to have this one. This set is going to be actually a coaster set and Lazy Susan, or a rotating serving platter I should say. Okay, so yeah, big lesson learnt. That's priority. Seal your MDF first. So I'll give this a clear seal. What I'm using here is the Jo Sonia all-purpose sealer. See how that MDF is just really soaking that up. I am going to also put cork on the back. Alright, let that dry. Okay, so when this is dry, I'll just use a coat of Taubman's Easy Coat sealer and undercoat. Alright, and then I'll glue the cork backing. I'll show what I'm using. I'm using Sally's All Fix. So far it seems to bond the cork really well. So try not to get anything with an adhesive backing. I think it affects the bonding of the glue and cork. Whoops, that's heaps of glue. Waste. So now I'll take this to the sander and I'll use 800 grit, and I'll just give this a nice smooth edge and probably remove a bit of glue that's there as well, which should just peel off actually. Like so, that glue will come off, I'm not worried about that. Alright, so let's go get on the tools. For best results, make sure you set up a shade tent or something that's going to protect your work as you're resining. You don't want to get any dust. Alrighty, so thanks for watching. I hope this video helps you with your resining journey. Take care.